Come on, spiritual superstars, take a deep breath in with me now and raise your vibration. Ready? Deep, deep, deep. Challenging your human, kissing your higher self, and connecting with the divine. And let it out. Again, deep breath in. Deep, deep, deep. Challenging your human, kissing your higher self, connecting with the divine, and release. Type pound or hashtag 1111 in the comments. That's the opening of the spirit realm, and you will receive your spiritual guidance. So, quantum awakening, the science behind your spiritual shift. Quantum physics did not create spirituality. It confirms it. The deeper you go into quantum mechanics, the more you realize that what spiritual teachers, prophets, prophetesses, and sages have always known. Science is finally catching up to it. Everything is energy. Nothing solid, not even you. You are not a body with a soul. You are a soul made of light, energy, inhabiting a temporary vessel, a body. You're human. You, the soul, exists across multiple dimensions. You get to travel. And your awakening is the moment you remember that. See, spiritual awakening has been happening forever. It has gotten commercialized, but this is the truth. Spiritual awakening is when the Most High, the universe, you, which is your higher self, which you just obtained breathing deeply in with me in the beginning, wakes up to your untapped, unlimited potential. And your mind's eye gains clarity, as well as your other spiritual gifts. And this third dimension changes in your view, in your perspective. You are made of light energy. Quantum physics teaches us that energy cannot be created or destroyed. It only changes form. You change form. This is you. This is you, the soul, the spirit. It does not die. It shifts, reincarnates, activates, and expands. You are fluid. You are energy. You are light, and you travel at the speed of light. So does your manifested outcome. So 1, energy cannot be created or destroyed. Write that down. Because you are energy. 2, the observer effect. The observer effect proves that consciousness itself shapes reality. You are consciousness. You are awake. You are aware. The mere act of looking at a particle changes its behavior. That's the observer effect. That's quantum science. This means your awareness is creative force. You are a creator, and not just a creator. You are the creator. You are the creator of your reality. You are the creator of your reality. The third thing is parallel realities. Parallel realities are not theory. The many worlds interpretation confirms that every possible version of your life already exists. Baha'i principle teaches us that as well. We live in one world. When we ascend on into the spiritual realm as full light energy and we leave our earthly physical matter or body behind because it has died and begun its own transformation, we move on to another world, another dimension. Science, spirituality, and nature are one. What you'll hear in my second edition of The Art of Manifestation is I wrote, your vision is not a fantasy. It is a frequency. So it's one way of looking at this. And you are awakening because you have started to align with that frequency. Now, some of you may look at it and say, but I love to fantasize. Children fantasize. I fantasize. I imagine. But if it's difficult for you to see that as real because of what your human has been taught and programmed to believe, then understand that frequency and fantasy are one and the same. You know, it takes time to reprogram your human. Think about how many days, how many years, how many decades you have been taught one thing. It has been beat into you, essentially, through many different methods, formats, tools, ways, people, venues, sources, resources, strategies. Some it has been scared into you, scared to life. You better learn this or you're going to get a beating. You're going to get kicked out of school. You're going to fail. You better get this. Or you're going to get kicked out of my house, or I'm going to put you on punishment. Fantasy is frequency. There's a guy, I can't remember his name right now. If you can remember his name, please give him the honor and put it in the comment section for me, please. Pretty please, spiritual superstars. But this man made me cry when I saw his video. He is the quickest person that can disarm a armed person. He can disarm a gunman or gunwoman, someone that has a gun, quicker than anybody. And it is amazing to see how fast he can literally take a pointed gun that's pointing at him and disarm that person. Literally take the gun and disarm it at the same time. Take the magazine out. And they asked him, what made you even want to be that fast? What motivated you? And he said, because his stepfather held the gun to his head and would beat him upside the head with it. It would put the gun to his forehead, his side of his face. I mean, just connected to him in so many ways, just brutalizing him, saying he will blow his brains out if he ever told anybody the abuse that he was giving him, that he was doing to him. And he started tearing up and then he was explaining this as a grown man. He started tearing up and he said, something just snapped in him. It shifted him. And he said that he will never let that happen. And he became the fastest hands to disarm a gunman or a gunwoman. Imagine how much he had to think about that and practice it and be convicted to make this happen, determined. Let nothing come between him and his manifested outcome. And that's how convicted you need to be. Determined to make this happen. Your fantasy is your imagination. It is what you pour into. And with the observer effect, we know that what we observe moves. What we focus on expands. It begins to move. It gains traction, friction. And so it is frequency. You are elevating your energy. And you are awakening because you started to align with that frequency. You no longer are satisfied with living on autopilot. You are no longer content with the third dimensional illusion that tells you you are not enough. That doesn't feel right with you. It doesn't sit right with you. You are not able to sit still and listen to someone threaten you, to someone telling you that your freedom is within their cage that they put you in. That doesn't feel right, doesn't sit right. It's not going to work for you because you know another reality that exists, and it exists in your fantasy. It's your dream. It's your imagination. It's the freedom that you feel in the deja vu moments because you've been there before, but you've been there at a higher frequency. You know what I'm talking about. It's the feeling of happiness all of a sudden that just overcomes you. And you can't quite put your finger on it, but you feel it. And in the blink of an eye, it goes. But you felt it. And you experienced your higher frequency. It's the moment where you wonder, can I do that? I could do that. I could be pretty good at that. I mean, I enjoy doing it. Could I make money doing it? Everyone asks me to do it. I mean, they call me for it, but they don't pay me. I mean, I don't want them to pay me. I don't ask them to pay me. Wouldn't be too bad for them to pay me, though, I guess. I mean, other people are getting paid for it, but I haven't even gone to school for it. I don't have my license or certification. Like, no one taught me formally. I just do it. I just guess I've always learned to do it. I taught myself. You're working through that comfort from the discomfort of comparing yourself to others. You're no longer satisfied with living on autopilot. You feel more. You sense more. You know more. That knowing is your awakening. And you are awakening to a very specific theme in your life experience now. The 7 Steps to Master Any Spiritual Awakening is a book that I wrote that gives you every single step to do just that, master your awakening. And in the 2nd edition of The Art of Manifestation, I say manifestation is not magic. It is energetic instruction. And in your awakening, you are instructing your human. It is science and spirit colliding in your favor, because the universe is tapped in to your frequency at all times. So you must continue to collapse time to the higher frequency in which your desired outcome exists. You are selecting a reality that already exists, and you are choosing very strategically which outcome you are choosing to live in this 3rd dimension. And your human is beginning to obey you, the soul's instruction. Now, spiritual superstar, I've got reflection questions for you, of course. And you know that I only want you to reflect for a maximum of 15 minutes, okay? We meditate for a maximum of 15 minutes, and we reflect for a maximum of 15 minutes, because our human has a short attention span, and I need you to not stress your human out any more than they already are feeling by your current circumstances, because they know more, they know better, because you've been feeding that to them, and then you've been feeding your truth. And so they know that their current circumstances of what they see with their human eyes, of what they hear with their human ears, is a lie. And so be gentle with your human, but continue to challenge your human, because your human is feeling what? Cognitive dissonance. And that's a good thing. That's a blessing. It is the journey. It is the pull. It is the stretching. It is the challenge. So your reflection question is this: what version of you already exists in another dimension, and what shift do you need to make today to collapse time and meet them? Let me repeat that. What version of you already exists in another dimension? That in of itself, you must choose which version. You do that, okay? We're co-coaching here, but you're doing the work. And I'm challenging you, so I hope and pray that you accept the challenge. But you have the authority to choose. Which version of you already exists in another dimension? Remember, you know every possibility that could possibly happen. But which version, which possibility of you already exists in another dimension? What you focus on expands. So you are being very strategic to focus on what you want to manifest. Part B to this question: and what shift do you need to make? Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year, not next month. Today. If you are listening to this at night, it is the next morning first thing. It is your priority. If you are at work and you still have hours before you go to sleep, today. Today. What shift do you need to make today to collapse time and meet them. You're meeting your higher self. You're meeting yourself. Honey, that is priority. You are waiting for you. Your spiritual awakening is not just emotional, it's quantum. Spiritual superstars, I charge you to answer that reflection question. Rewind the video. This is a workshop, and you know how I am. I expect you to do the work because this is your beautiful journey. And some of y'all got kids depending on you. I know that feeling. I know what it feels like to wake up in poverty. I know what it feels like to wake up and not know what is going on. How are you going to take care of your kids? I know what it's like to be left and rejected. I know what it's like to have your own blood family turn on you. I know what it's like to feel alone, abandoned. I know what it's like to have the world on your shoulders and knowing that no one is going to save you but yourself. So I'm challenging you, because if I can become Dr. Necole Anré'V, if I can build a multi-billion-dollar comprehensive wellness firm with spiritual guidance, if I can reverse chronic illnesses, if I can have children that plenty of doctors said I would never have, and they be born healthy, blessed, and beautiful, if I can do all these things, if I can manifest the love of my life when I had no clue of where he was in this world, even if he was of the living, if I can do all these things and more, you can too, and faster. Because what I'm teaching you is what I learned over decades. So you get to do it faster, stronger, and better. So your spiritual awakening is not just emotional, it is quantum. This is why your old identity does not feel right anymore. This is why you cannot explain what's happening to people still stuck in linear logic. They are to stay in your past. You are not crazy. You are conscious. You don't have to explain not wanting to be near them, not wanting to answer your phone for them. You don't have to explain anything to anyone. That is your power. You have closed off access to negative lower vibrations. No matter who and what that came in, where that source came from, you have dismissed them with love. You can still love someone, have that divine godly love in your heart and soul for them, because you are seeing them for who they are. Therefore, you know you are no longer on the same frequency. And you know that you do not have to bend down to their frequency, to their level of vibration, in order to pull them up to where you have now understood yourself to be. You did the work. You do not have to keep dragging people into your experience that spirit is telling you don't belong there. Be okay with the uncomfortable awkwardness of, wow, they really were in my experience for a reason, for a season, and now that season has ended. That is the closure. And they're still seeking verbal closure because they don't want to be without you, because your energy is all that. And it is okay for you to recognize your worth in this process, your value in this closure, your standards in this experience. In their rejection, you see your elevation. In their inability to see why you can no longer be around them. They have no more access to you. You are now seeing your ascension and your higher self. You are now appreciating the God in you. And you are now locked in to the next beautiful cycle of your experience. That is awakening. I had a client who I allowed her to start doing videos on our channel, actually, on Spiritual Guidance Academy. Beautiful, beautiful soul. She began to do readings, and she said that I was her inspiration. She said, Miss Necole, you are always accurate. You are 100% on point, and I want to learn from you. And I said, okay. Well, I want you to take our card reading spiritual guidance course. And she said, I need more than that. I said, okay. What do you need? And she said she needed one-on-one coaching. And I said, absolutely. So she took my program. We started coaching. And I told her, you know, I want to do something special for you. And I want you to go ahead and start giving readings to our spiritual superstars. Now, spiritual superstar, that's a warm market. So I opened up all of you for her to give you readings because I trained her and because I was very aware of what her potential was. And in her awakening, it was pointing her to her gifts. And she was extremely gifted. She just needed training to master her gifts to the next level. And oh my goodness, the second she began tapping into, climbing that stair to the next floor of her spiritual awakening, of her ascension, her cousins, her friends, elders in the family, the people she respected and loved, showed her zero support. In fact, they started bashing her, judging her, speaking so poorly about her, attacking her. What are you doing? Yeah, we heard that you're doing videos. We know, we've seen it. So-and-so sent me the video and all of that is evil. What are you doing? How dare you? You think you know this? You don't know that. You think you better than all of us? I mean, went in on her. And her theme of her awakening, just by that little bit, you probably already know, the first stage of awakening is awareness, was her position and who she needed to let go of. What was her self-worth? Her value. And it was very low. The level of value that she had for herself was very low. Her self-worth was very low. Her self-esteem was very low. But when she gave, when she read, oh my goodness, when we had coaching sessions, oh, her higher self was definitely right there. Passion, oh my goodness. Energy was, oh my goodness. Loving. And so I say that all to say that people are not going to like where you're going, and they don't have to. You are tapped in, and that's the point. Your old identity is not welcome in your experience, and though people will bring that old identity up and bash you and judge you and attack you and tell you what you need to do, why don't you call me anymore, why can't I hear from you, I. It's not about you. It has nothing to do with you. They are connected to your old identity, and they feel the void because you are no longer feeding that old identity, and they are stuck and hung onto the shell of who you used to be. And I literally want you to see it with your mind's eye. Your old shell, the casing of who you used to be, your old skin, is who they are talking to, who they are connected to. You have grown spiritually, and you have moved up and out of that old shell. You have done the work, and you will continue to do the work and ascend. And they don't like it, but they'll be okay. You are conscious, and you are awakening, and you're going to get through this thing. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share this video, honey, with someone you know is awakening to their own divine identity. And that person just came to you right now. I am Dr. Necole Anré'V, founder of Spiritual Guidance Academy, and I thank you so much, and you are always welcome here. And I am founder of Anré'V Consultants, a comprehensive wellness firm. And if you haven't been sponsored into our programs by your employer, your doctor's office, or wellness center, send them this video today. We are your sacred space for energetic mastery, spiritual authority, and manifestation through divine alignment. And honey, you need that at work, at home, and on the go. I'll see you in the next video, and I'll see you on the inside.